Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I have such an exciting announcement. My jewelry store Luna Gem is having a massive sale and it's going from August 5th until August 8th, and you can use the code LION to get 20% off your order. And something that's extra special and exciting is we're going to be choosing one person each day to send up to $200 worth of free products as a little special surprise in your package. So to enter this special little giveaway, if you place an order during our sale, you'll be automatically entered to win up to $200 of a special surprise. We're gonna be choosing one person every single day, and we're gonna be putting extra little gifts into your package. This is so exciting. We've never done anything like this before, so this is so fun, and I'm so excited to be doing this and hosting this. If you wanna know a little bit about our jewelry store, we basically hand make beaded bracelets with authentic gemstones and crystals, and they're also made with gold fill. And the gold fill is super high quality, so you can wear it in water and it's not gonna tarnish. And we also make your bracelet according to your wrist size, so that you can actually get a bracelet that matches your wrist and fits you properly. And then we also have tons of other jewelry on there, including rings, including necklaces, earrings, and crystals, and all sorts of other different things that you can browse from. And again, if you place an order during our sale, you can get 20% off of your order using the code LION, and you'll also automatically be entered to possibly win up to $200 of free products included in your package. All of the details will be listed down below, as well as the links that you can go ahead and click and browse all the different things. And thank you so much for also allowing me to sponsor my own videos. I'm sending you all so much love, and thank you so much for joining me here. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves, what is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about an urgent message from your highest self. So we're gonna be connecting with your highest self and tapping into what messages your highest self would want you to know in this exact moment. So whenever you are called to this video, we're gonna be getting a message that you need to hear right now that's gonna help you out, that your highest self would love for you to know. So grab some tea, come hang out with me while we tap into what your message is. And if you're new to these types of videos, I'm gonna give you a quick little explanation about how it works. So I have 4 different groups in front of me. We have group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box, so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading all about that message from your highest self that your highest self would love for you to know. And if you like to choose with crystals on the cards, let's go ahead and put some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. Over on group number 1, we have some aqua aura quartz. Group number 2, we have some titanium aura quartz. Group number 3, we have some angel spirit quartz. And then group number 4, we have some sunset aura quartz. So basically all of these are different types of quartz infused with different minerals, which makes them have different colors. So very interesting and very cool. So take a moment, pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading all about that message from your highest self. If you're having troubles choosing a pile, another little trick that I like to do in order to tap into my intuition more is to close my eyes and I wait for the first number to pop in my head between 1 and 4. And whatever that first number is that comes to you without even thinking, that is going to be your intuition speaking to you, and that's going to be the group that is going to have your message within it. If you find yourself drawn to multiple different groups, that is absolutely okay. It just means your higher self has multiple messages for you, and I'd highly recommend listening to both of those readings, and you may find that they both really correlate and resonate with you. So that is going to be today's video. Again, take some time, pause the video if you need to in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards, and I will see you in your reading. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading from your highest self. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, so group number 1, we have Kali, the mother of the universe. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Then we have Lolita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. This one's really, I can't wait to get into this one. And then we have Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. There's so many messages. First off, I actually want to talk about this one. So this card is the card of discernment. You may have like a choice in front of you right now that you need to make, and maybe you need help with making a certain choice, or maybe there's just a lot on your plate and you're wondering like, what do I say yes to? What do I say no to, right? So this is about spending your time wisely, figuring out where you're going to spend your time, how that's going to be managed. And this says, I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. If you've been wondering if you should say yes to something or what you should begin to say no to, this is your answer. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. If there's something that you're like, should I do that? Or should I not do that? Or should I do that? Does it feel like a holy hell yes in your body? Or does it feel like, maybe? Because if it's an maybe, then it's not quite right? It's not quite in alignment. It's not the perfect thing for you. So say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Say yes when it's like, oh my goodness, this feels so right. It feels so in alignment. That is what Freya comes here to tell us. And that's going to really help you figure out what you should spend your time on and what you should also spend your money on, right? Because maybe there's also something, or maybe you've been running into a lot of these things lately where maybe you're spending your money on all these things and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even wear that shirt that I bought. Wait a minute, I barely even used that thing that I just got. I just got a new journal and I have 10 more that I'm not using, or I just got a new book and I haven't even read the past 5 that I bought, all these different things. So this is a message from your highest self to begin to discern and use discernment when it comes to how you spend your time, your money, and your resources, like your energy too, for example. So when friends are asking you, hey, let's go out tonight, and you're kind of like, oh, I was really feeling like staying home and like doing blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should learn how to say no more. I feel like your highest self is coming through, telling you to call back your power, especially since you also have Kali and Lolita. These two are also about calling your power back and stepping into a more powerful position. I really feel like your highest self right now is coming down and helping you learn the lessons of how to step into your power more and how to say exactly what it is that's on your mind, how to say no when you're feeling no, and also how to put up proper boundaries in your life so that you're not spending your energy willy-nilly or spending your money willy-nilly and then being like, wait a second, I regret all these decisions. Now my time is all taken up and my money seems to just fall out of my fingertips and all these different things. This is about using discernment and calling your power back so that you feel like a powerful goddess or a powerful warrior, and you can make these like really good decisions and feel powerful while doing them rather than feeling guilty. Because sometimes we have a hard time saying no because then we feel guilty for saying no. We feel like it's wrong to say no. Or we feel like, oh, maybe I'm going to regret saying no in the future. If it's not a holy hell yes, we're probably going to regret saying yes to it sometime in the future, right? So also we have Lolita, the red goddess. So I almost have a question for you right now. I wonder if you are attracted to this video because of the red colors, because I know that it's obviously going to be red in the thumbnail because the cards are red and all that kind of stuff. I almost wonder if your eyes were drawn to it maybe because of the red. Maybe the red was really standing out to you, or maybe you noticed that you're really drawn to reds lately and maybe that's a color that really sticks out for you. Even if not though, your highest self has a message for you regarding the color red. The color red is a very powerful color. It is connected to the root chakra, which is all about rooting down, finding a solid foundation, realizing what your values are so that it's easy for you to have discernment, be assertive with your choices, with your decisions, with what you say, and to exercise your power. Feeling your power in a balanced way, right? Because obviously we could always get way too powerful and that's like not good either because that can lead to like narcissism. However, when we find balance within our power, we are unstoppable. We are balanced. People respect us. We respect ourselves. And there's just such a power within that. So I really feel like your highest self right now is almost teaching you how to be more of a warrior and keep your eyes on your target of what you want to reach, the goals that you want to get to. How can you keep your eye on that target so that you don't wander off all of a sudden spending your money on things that you're like, wait a second, that wasn't really what I maybe wanted to spend my money on. Maybe I'd rather save it up for this big thing that I've been really wanting that's actually in alignment with what I need in my life and where I'm going, right? So that's one of the things. Also your energy and your time. How do you spend your energy and time? How can we stay on target with those things so that we're spending our time and energy and our money and our resources on the things that are in alignment with our dream life, with our highest self, with becoming who we really want to be. Your highest self is also saying that if you have an inclination to wear red lately or to have red around you, it's a color that evokes power. It's a color that evokes strength and energy and vitality. Red is also the color of our blood, and our blood is like the life giver. It's the prana that pumps through our veins, right? So if you're attracted to that, it's getting attracted to living your life to the fullest. What's going to be fullest to you? Instead of living through a place of FOMO and saying yes to everything, that's not necessarily a way of living. A way of living is saying yes to the things that are a hell yes, the things that really pump you up and give you life, and saying no to all the things that are kind of not quite there, because what's the point of spending time on them if they're not a holy hell yes that's going to light us up? Let's spend our time on that, right? And then have balance. We have the scales here representing balance, and have balance with recuperating your energy, because even the most powerful warriors need time to rest and recuperate. So say yes to the things that are a holy hell yes. And playfulness is another message from your highest self. How can we live a playful and fun life? How can we add more passion back into our life? Because red is also the color of passion. So if you're drawn to that, it's also, I feel like your soul and your highest self are really, you're wanting to connect to your passion more, to have more zest for life. And the way that you do that is to become so like fixated and excited about pursuing something, pursuing your dreams and making something happen. Your highest self wants you to call your power back, to realize that you are so capable of achieving what you desire. You're so capable. But when you can create that burning desire within you, like, ooh, I'm going to go get this. I'm going to go make this happen. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to face any fear. I'm going to overcome any obstacle, and I'm going to do it. Like, this is like the Kali, Lolita, and Freya energy. That's what this is. It's like the hell yes, I'm going to make this happen. I have this burning desire, and I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to start saying no to anything that stands in my way. I'm going to call up my power, be this divine goddess, warrior, whatever it is that resonates with you, whether that be a goddess, warrior, whatever it is that resonates with you. This is calling that power back and having fun with it along the way. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. So this is also being able to laugh at our fumbles, our stumbles, the little silly things that happen along the way. So instead of being hard on yourself and being like, damn it, I just overspent my money again on things that I didn't need, or I just said yes to something that I didn't want to do. It's like, okay, let's laugh at this. Let's have a little bit more fun. Let's be a little bit more playful. Let's laugh at some of those mistakes so that we can brush them off and come back to a more powerful position, because we're not in our power when we're being hard on ourselves. We are diminishing our strength. We're diminishing our power when we are hard on ourselves. But instead, when we can have that playful outlook and we're just like, oh my God, I just fumbled again. I'm going to pick up. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to laugh at it so that I can continue moving forward in my power, in my strength. And when it comes to the things that maybe we need to get done that are not so fun, maybe, this is also, Lolita is the goddess of that fun playfulness. She's the red goddess of power. And so when it comes to those things like, oh, I need to deal with this today, or oh, I need to do my taxes, or oh, I need to do that, how can we make it more fun? Lolita is the goddess of like, okay, yeah, I got to do that. Yes, I'm going to, I got to be responsible still, but I'm going to make this fun. How can I make it fun? Maybe I can like get dressed up in the most beautiful outfit, be that girl or that guy that's all put together, gonna get this ish done, making a nice hot cup of tea, sitting down and doing it, That sort of mindset, when you can add more fun and play into everything that you're doing, you're gonna make your life so much more powerful, so much more zestful, so much more passionate, right? So even those serious responsibilities, how can we be that girl or that guy and get stuff done in the best possible way to still feel our power, so that we still feel like we're sitting in our throne. Okay? That's what your highest self wants you to tap into, that highest self that's already within you. All of this is already within you. You feel it. I'm sure you feel it. I'm sure you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, this is already within you. It's just about shifting into that, remembering these things. And again, not being hard on yourself, but being more playful with it and being like, oh my God, yeah, let me tap back into that. And then Kali, oh my gosh, she's like the goddess that will break through any obstacle, will transform anything in her path. So what this says, the mother of the universe, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So what is it that you can let go of? What are the things that you know are just not serving you right now? Maybe you're gonna get called to declutter all the extra ish in your life that's just overwhelming and distracting you and bringing your attention away. I feel like Kali is guiding you and your highest self is guiding you to have a purge, to have a release, to get rid of stuff. The stuff that you don't wear, the stuff that you don't use. Maybe we can sell it so that we can declutter our mind, we can declutter our space, and getting rid of, she destroys thoughts that are harmful. So if you've been hard on yourself, if you've been worrying or stressing or things like that, Kali is like, no, let's overcome this, let's face this, let's burst through that wall and step into that power. So that is your beginning message from your highest self right now. Very powerful stuff. Again, red is going to be a significant color for you. I just want to say that again. And we also have the Hermit. The Hermit's being reversed here. This is time for you to come out of your shell. The Hermit card, when it's upright, it's time for you to go within. Right now, your highest self is saying that it's time for you to come out. It's to come out of your shell. You've been doing a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, but now it's time to take action. When the Hermit is reversed, it's time to take action rather than staying in the planning stage or staying in the reflection, internal phase. This is time to come out. We also have the 10 of Wands. So what are some things that are kind of overwhelming to you right now that maybe are not serving you? And it's time to get rid of those. It's time to stop saying yes to everything. I feel like you're really overwhelmed right now with how much you've taken on and how much you've said yes to. Say yes to the things that are a hell yes. Because when you say yes to the things that are a hell yes, you're going to keep your energy high vibe. Because like, for example, for me in my work, like I do a lot of different things. Like I do bracelets. I have a jewelry store where we hand make beaded bracelets and sell them when we sell a bunch of other jewelry. So I have that. And that takes a lot of time. That's like a full-time job. But then I also have YouTube and I edit all of my own videos. I plan all my own videos. I do the entire everything when it comes to my YouTube channel. And I'm running all these other things, doing some live events now and still taking online courses because I'm always trying to learn new things and get certified in all these different things. And so there's just a lot going on. And so I've said yes to a lot of things. However, one of the most key things that I've learned in my day is to say yes to the things that are holy hell yes, because I can work from literally the second I wake up till the second I go to sleep, and I'll stay inspired and energetic the entire time without reaching burnout because the things that I'm doing are a holy hell yes that is so in alignment, that feels so good. And whenever it doesn't feel in alignment, I'm like, okay, either this needs to change, I need to change something about it, or I need to let it go. And I just need to not do that because it's not giving me the inspiration that I need in order to keep it going. If you don't have the inspiration behind it, if there's not a vision that's so exciting for you behind what you're doing, you need to revise it or change it or shift it in some way and transform it so that all the things that you're doing are energizing for you because they're so inspiring. And sometimes it just comes down to developing that vision more and shifting it so that it feels so exciting, right? Sometimes we get bored of things because we're like, it's not that exciting anymore. It hasn't I need to change something up about it. And sometimes when we're on that edge where we're pushing ourselves to slightly do something more or learn something new, but it's not too far out of our skill set, when we're just pushing ourselves just enough to where it's new and exciting, that's that sweet spot where you're going to stay inspired and driven because you're pushing yourself to learn more. And us as humans, we love to grow. There's something so invigorating and inspiring about growing and learning new things that we're like, oh, look at that. Look what I just did. I just did this new thing. Like, you know that feeling when you learn something new and you're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I don't want to stop doing it. Such as like when you ride a bike for the first time and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it. Holy shit. I want to go on all the bike rides. This is so much fun. Like when you're a kid and you first learn how to do that, so exciting. And then all you want to do is ride your bike. But then, you get to a point where you've done it a million times and you've ridden your bike up and down the street so many times that you're like, I need a new challenge. Like maybe let's ride the bike on a cool hill or mountain or do something else that's cool. It's like we're always wanting to push ourselves to do something kind of new. So when it comes to your work that you do, when it comes to your home and being inspired about your home and being inspired about all the things that you're doing on a personal level, when we push ourselves just enough to where we're still growing and learning, that's where all the inspiration comes from. Anyway, that was a whole tangent. Hopefully that made sense. Anyway, we also have the Five of Wands being reversed. When this card comes up reversed, it means that there's some sort of awkwardness and maybe we're mixing up our time with things that are like, okay, I don't really want to do that, but I'm kind of like stuck in it. And of course, there are some things like taxes and stuff that we just have to do. We can't just not do our taxes. So this is about what are the essentials that you do need to do? And then what are some things that's like, you know what, I should just say no to those other things. I need to say no to the things that are like, I just don't feel like it, it's not quite right. Or we need to revise it, because this is also a card of revision, okay? So how can we revise some of those things to make them more in alignment, to make them more exciting? And then we have the Moon being reversed. Sometimes when we have to face like a certain fear in order to grow, like it helps out so much. Like for myself, I'll just use myself as an example, I guess. Like for me, doing live events was like so scary because I'm like, I haven't done this before. I'm like an online YouTuber. I spend all my day like at home in my house. Like all the things that I do are like online. And so doing in-person events was like, oh my God, that's like, I have to get over some fears. I have to like get over my shell, but I had such a calling and passion to do it. So it's like, okay, yeah, this fear is standing in my way, but I know I want to be on the other side of that fear. I know I want to get over it. So I just push myself. Gotta do it. And so you might be at a part in your life right now where maybe there's something that you really want. Maybe there's something that you really desire to get to, but maybe it requires you stepping out into the unknown a little bit. Maybe it requires you to face a fear that you have that might be standing in the way. It could be a fear of failure, a fear of judgment, a fear of like rejection, a fear of whatever. There's all these different fears that can sometimes stand in our way. But the beauty lies beyond the fear. And when we can just face it and get over it, sometimes it's like so worth it for us to pursue our absolute dreams, right? So yeah, your highest self is encouraging you to face those fears and to use that internal power to really like get what you desire. And maybe this is also a fear of placing boundaries. Maybe this is a fear of being your authentic self. Maybe this is a fear of saying no to people. And maybe that's going to be the healthiest thing for us, is to learn how to say no when we don't want to do something. Learning how to put up proper boundaries for our time, money, and energy. Okay, we also have get creative. Oh, I just feel like your highest self is really encouraging you to get your creativity back. If there's something that you love to do, like painting or writing or something that really evokes passion within you, your highest self is encouraging you to come back to that and to do that. Your highest self is also like calling upon your strength right now. This red color is all about strength. The killer whale, this is like killing those fears, killing those blocks that are standing in the way, killing all those things that are stopping you from pursuing what it is that you really desire. And like, let's get creative and let's start doing it. Because that's the only way to learn. That's the only way to make your dreams happen, is to just do it, right? And we also have the patience card. I feel like this is being patient with yourself, being patient with results. Sometimes we don't get results right away, and that's absolutely okay. Sometimes we need patience with ourselves to not rush to do everything all at once and to handle everything. But sometimes we can just say yes to what feels so right now, and that's going to be great. That's going to be what you need. And to also realize that you're not behind. I feel like some of you feel like you're behind, and this card is making me feel like you feel behind in life compared to maybe some other people in your life, or some people that you're really inspired by. You might be like, oh my God, there's people that are younger than me that are so much farther ahead of me. I'm behind. I'll never be able to make it. Some of you might have that feeling like, I'm never gonna be able to make it. I'm never gonna be able to get to that finish line. This is the story of the tortoise and the hare. You might be moving a little bit slower, but that's okay. Your highest self is also telling you not to rush it and not to expect to see the finish line, a month after starting. You might not see the finish line a month after starting. You might not even see the finish line a year after starting. For me, I was on YouTube. I was making YouTube videos for like years before I even got paid to do it. Years. And I was consistent with it too, making a video like every week. And I think it took me like 4.5 years or so before I even got paid. So imagine doing something for 4.5 years and making no progress. And then suddenly you're like, oh, thankfully the progress has begun. It's so worth it. And I would never change that for the world. Even if I had to go 7 years without a paycheck on YouTube, knowing where I am today, knowing that it brought me here, I would have easily done that, right? And so sometimes you need patience. You are not behind and you can get anywhere, but it's the story of the tortoise and the hare. Just because it seems like you're moving slow, you might actually be making more progress than you're realizing, because the people that move fast and the people that get to their goals so quickly might have to backtrack because maybe they missed a few things along the way. Maybe they or maybe they missed some important lessons or missed some, really important milestones along the way that would have been really important for them to pay attention to and reach and integrate. When you're moving slowly, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not going to reach the finish line. It probably means that you're doing it right, you're doing it properly, and you're learning really important things along the way. Life is more about the journey than the destination. And I didn't understand that when I was younger. I didn't understand that concept to the depth that I do today. The journey is the most important thing, and the journey is the most exciting. When you reach your goal, you're like, okay, now I need to make a new goal because I've already reached it. And so it's not the goal that gives us the excitement. It's the learning that you do along the way. It's the things that happen along that journey that grow you as a person that are so freaking worth everything. Everything. Oh my God, the things that I learned within editing, within how to speak on camera properly, and all those things within the 4.5, 5 years that I was doing YouTube for before anything ever really happened for me. During that time, I learned so many essential things that, again, I would never trade that for the world. I'm so glad it happened the way that it did. And so you usually don't see these things until you're in that moment of retrospect way later on. So I feel like that's a message for you from your highest self. Have patience with yourself. Don't rush it. Don't feel like you're behind, because you're actually not. Again, the tortoise is the one that actually wins the race. So yeah, and we also have the shadow, facing those fears that might be there. And also I feel like, okay, we're gonna talk about this in a second, but with the shadow card coming up as well, another thing from your highest self that your highest self really wants you to know is that there's certain things that are unknown to you right now. You might feel like you don't see the biggest picture yet, and maybe you're wondering, okay, what is my life gonna look like in the future? Maybe I don't have that fully planned out yet. Maybe I don't have the biggest idea of it, or maybe I don't see the bigger reason why I'm going through all of these different struggles right now. There's a lot that's unknown to you right now, and it might feel kind of scary, especially since we also have the moon card here. There's a lot that might be unknown to you right now, and you might be thinking like, oh no, there's this anxiety that comes with that because I don't have it figured out. Your highest self wants you to know that you are right where you need to be. The shadow card talks about the fact that you are right where you need to be, and everything is actually in divine alignment. And the thing is no matter where you are in life, there's always going to be moments that you do not see the entire picture. If I drive from where I live right now, which is San Diego at the moment, although I'm moving very soon, so exciting. Anyway, if I drive from San Diego to New York, I can't see New York on the road. There's not even a sign that says New York on it. So, but I just know that New York, in order to get there, I'm going to probably have to start driving east, east and slightly north. So when it comes to your goals, your dreams, your desires, you might not see the entire picture. You might not even see what that end result looks like quite yet. And that's completely normal. Everyone has that. That is just part of life. But you are right where you need to be, and it's not going to stop you from taking the next step. You can still take the next step. You can see the next step in front of you. That next step might be as small as opening up a business or coming up with a business name. Maybe you don't even know what the business name is yet. Maybe you're thinking about starting something new, learning something new. There is one step that you can take right now. And there's a step that you can take tomorrow. There's a step that you can take the next day. There's always these small little steps. And these steps are part of that growth phase. and you will get to your end result. It's going to develop along the way. It's literally going to develop along the way. As I start driving towards New York, all of a sudden I'm going to get closer and closer. I'm going to see more and more of the picture as I go, as I take those next steps. Every light I reach, every turn I take, it's all leading to that goal, and it develops along the way. Okay, you're developing along the way. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be, and your highest self wants you to know that. This is about calling your power back right now so that you can just continue developing, continue moving. Okay? We also have the gift. There's a gift for you along this path that is awaiting you. There is a gift your highest self is also wanting you to awaken a gift that you have. You have a talent. I feel like for some of you, you might not know what this is quite yet, but I feel like you're going to realize it really soon. Or you might know what this is already, and you might be like, oh, I have an inclination for drawing, or I have an inclination for writing or art, or whatever creative thing that it is. I feel like you have a talent that your highest self wants you to develop more, wants you to utilize more and awaken more. I really feel like your highest self is coming through to say that. And I also feel like with this gift card, I feel like there's like a gift that your highest self is going to be giving you within the next 2 months, maybe 3 months for some of you. But within the next 2 to 3 months, there's a gift or a surprise that's going to come from your highest self. Usually gifts from the spirit realm are, I don't know, they happen in synchronistic ways. And it's like, whoa, this happened? But I feel like there's a gift coming for you, some sort of gift or opportunity or something. I can't even say what it is because, again, this is a general reading, and sometimes, in general readings, for every person watching this, it's going to be slightly different. But there is some kind of gift that your highest self is bringing down to you. And your highest self is also wanting to let you know you have the gift. You have the gift. If you've been doubting yourself lately when it comes to achieving what you desire, you have the gift. Your highest self deeply, deeply, deeply wants you to know that right now. You have the gift. I'm also going to restart my camera really quickly because it's about to cut out. So I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And there is one more deck of cards that I want to tap into before we end off this reading. This was a long reading. So if you're still here with me, wow, I'm just sending you so much love. I really feel like this card. Oh, these two. Resilient. Stay strong as evergreen trees. Stay as strong as evergreen trees. Stay evergreen. No matter what it is you're going through, even if you're going through a winter phase of your life where you feel stuck, keep growing, keep going. This also might be talking about come up with an evergreen thing. So if you've been thinking about making something like an online course or starting a YouTube channel, those things are kind of evergreen because, for example, the videos that I make on YouTube, people watch those, and they're always on YouTube for people to watch, which means that they continually make income for me. Evergreen stuff, you might be thinking of or maybe you're inspired to create something that's evergreen, something that's going to keep giving you abundance. It might even be something as investing in a property that you're going to rent out. That's an evergreen income. There's something here though where your highest self is talking about something that's evergreen. I feel like this deals with you on an internal, more spiritual, energetic level, becoming evergreen and creating things that are a bit more evergreen and staying resilient when it comes to your goals. But I also feel like this is talking about a career thing, such as evergreen income, that your spirit, your highest self is saying, yes, that's a good idea. Anyway, we also have the time card. Embrace the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. So embrace every moment. Sometimes we get stuck in always focusing on the future and really wanting to get to the next goal, wanting to get to the next thing. But you know what's crazy? In retrospect, if I think about my past and I think about different parts of my life when I first began my YouTube channel, that was such an exciting time. Sometimes I reminisce on that and I'm like, wow, that was so fun. I really wish I lived in the moment of that and enjoyed it rather than constantly thinking about the end goal. Or for example, when I was in college and I was like, I just really want to get my degree in audio engineering. I just really want to get it. But instead, I reminisce and I'm like, wow, I wish I would have been more present going through that because that was so much fun. And those are years of my life I'll never get to relive. You know what I mean? Like I can't just go back in time. I can go back in time in my memory, but you know, when you can really just embrace where you are, because I bet you there's going to be a time in your future. There's going to be a time in your future where you're like reminiscing and you're like, wow, that was so fun. I love reminiscing on those memories. So enjoy the present moment, enjoy it, embrace the dewdrops of life, embrace each moment of life before they disappear with the morning sun, before they disappear with the next chapter of your life. The next chapter of your life is inevitably on the horizon. It's inevitably there. And the most amazing thing we can do right now is be present where we are right now. And yes, focusing on a future goal is amazing because it helps us change the direction and trajectory of our future and helps us create our dream life. You're literally in the essence right now of creating your dream life, but embrace the present moment as well. So as you're working on that next goal, be like, wow, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so happy in this moment. Let me take this all in and appreciate with gratitude what I have right now, while I also have gratitude for where I'm going. If you can embrace both, ooh, that's the key secret to life. So anyway, that is your reading message from your highest self group number 1. That was so powerful. Like I feel like even I really resonated with this reading. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed your message from your highest self. I hope it resonated with you. Also be sure to check out Luna Gem if you are curious. Again, we're also doing like a giveaway situation. So all the information will be down below, or you can go back to the intro where I talk more about that. But if you want to check out Luna Gem and some handmade beaded bracelets, definitely feel free to do that. And I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your message from your highest self. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, group number 2, we have the, I cannot say this, I'm going to butcher this name, Machig Labdron. Okay, anyway, the diamond-hearted Dakini, I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Then we have Yeshi Tseogol, Lady of the Lotus Born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. I'm not even going to attempt this name. The joy-permeated mother. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. Okay, let's talk about this. You are being awakened right now. If there is answers that you've been really wanting in your life, and if you've been wondering, why am I stuck in this phase? Why am I stuck in this pattern? Why are certain things constantly happening to me? You are about to get so many answers. What I'm seeing for you right now, your highest self really is calling you to see the bigger picture of what's happening right now. And you're going through this time of awakening, and you're about to break out of an old cycle. You're about to break out of a pattern that's kind of been keeping you stuck, basically. So first off, let's talk about this card, the Diamond-Hearted Dakini. You are being formed into a diamond right now. If you think about how diamonds are formed, they're formed under pressure. And there's 2 different outcomes when we're under pressure. When we're under a lot of pressure in our lives, we can either take that pressure and let it sink us. We can take that pressure and become like a victim to our circumstances and let it break us or tear us down. And that's like, you know, things in life are not necessarily always fair or always easy. And I feel like right now you've been going through this time of development, but your highest self wants you to know to take this higher road and see how it's actually developing you into a diamond. Diamonds are formed under pressure. When we're under pressure as humans, it builds us. It has the potential to create us into a powerful, strong powerhouse, basically. So this card, I see the light in my own darkness. This is about seeing the greatness, about using that higher level of consciousness, that higher level of perception to see the positivity and the growth within all of your experiences. So if I had to ask you right now to take any sort of difficult situation that you might be going through right now, or maybe you just recently went through, and if I asked you to come up with 3 reasons why it was actually good and 3 positive things that you have taken out of it, and if I told you to really think about that question hard, and I know it can sound like Like, I know sometimes like asking something like that is like, are you serious? Like, you want me to ask myself that after going through something very difficult? Trust me, I've been there where I've also had that same perspective of like, I don't want to see the good in this. It's all bad. But once we can see the light and the growth and the positivity with anything that we go through, this is where we transform. This is where we grow. And this is where we alchemize. This is like a story of alchemy. This is where we alchemize whatever it is that we're going through, and we decide to take the positivity within it. Because there's positivity within anything. We can find positivity within almost anything. There's something good through it. And usually it takes, a lot of strength to see that. However, your highest self is coming through to help give you answers for what it is that you're going through. And you're also, again, developing into a diamond, and your heart is developing into a strong diamond. I also think that you are learning how to respect yourself more, create better boundaries in your life. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Jeez. I need to turn that on silent. What am I doing? So this also might be time for you to answer the call. There might be a calling that you have, a calling for you to step up and create change in your life. We were talking just here about creating boundaries in your life. So creating boundaries, rather than giving your energy to everyone else's problems, handling everyone else's problems for them, answering the call always to other people, it's time to answer your own call. What is your soul calling you towards? What is your soul need from you? Rather than using all of your time and energy and strength for others, to help others lift up to their dream lives, to help others get through their problems. How can you be there for yourself to help you overcome and get through things? What advice would you give to a friend going through the same thing? If you had to give advice to them, how can we embody that and take it to the next level? And I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. You are your own guru. You are an eternal, beautiful soul of the universe, right? And there's inevitable hardship in life everywhere, right? But when you are your own guru, what this is talking about is, instead of seeking validation from other people, instead of seeking validation from external places and trying to find validation for our experiences, which can sometimes be helpful, but when instead we can sit in our own power and become our own guru, become our own light, to where we're like, you know what? I'm going to think about the advice that I need right now, the advice that I really need that would help me grow, that would help me find strength, and I'm going to give that to myself. And I don't need to hear it from anyone else. I don't need someone else to agree with me. I don't need someone else to be on the same page. Because the only person that needs to be on the same page as you is you. If you're on your same page, if you know your truth, you're the only one that needs to know your own truth. We don't need to convince anyone else of our truth. We don't need to. Sometimes we feel compelled to, but we don't ever need to. Because sometimes it's just a waste of our time, waste of our energy, and sometimes we don't even change the other person's opinion anyway. So it's like, you know what? That's fine. I feel like one thing that your higher self is guiding you towards right now is to know your own truth, live by your own truth, to see those higher perspectives for yourself, not needing to convince anyone else of it, but knowing it for you. And coming back to your own innate joy. Like, you see the halos that are behind these two, and there's also a huge like glowing halo behind this one. All of these halos indicate a third eye and crown chakra awakening. This is when we connect to the divine highest power of the universe. And I really feel like you're connecting to your highest self right now. Like in your life right now, group number 2, you are connecting and becoming your highest self. I really think that you are getting to a place of huge realizations, huge epiphanies in your life, and the knowingness of where you want to go and who you want to be and who you want to become. I honestly think that you're at this huge turning point in your life, to be honest with you, group number 2. Massive turning point where you are becoming a new self. You're becoming a new you. You're becoming an entirely new person. And I feel like you feel it. I feel like you feel that. You feel like there's big change on the horizon for you. And you feel as if you're never going to be the same again, which is absolutely true. Your highest self is coming through right now being like, yep, you're changing to the point where you're not going to be the same again in the best possible way, because you're learning so much, which is causing such a big shift. I honestly think that you're just like entirely shifting who you are on one of the deepest levels. The red veil that's moving through both of these, the red veil indicates growing, creating a stronger foundation than ever. I think your values are changing, your beliefs are changing, your perspective is changing, your energy is changing, like everything on the physical level, because red also represents the physical. And so things are also changing for you on a physical level. And I think your highest self is saying, yes, continue going in that direction. You might feel a pull right now to change things for yourself on a physical level, such as maybe selling your home and moving somewhere else, shifting your career, shifting, like I feel like there's big changes, big changes that you're being guided to create and do in your life. And those are so divinely powerful for you. And your highest self is coming through like, yes, this is so meant to be. You're meant to do this shift. You're meant to do this change. Joy permeated mother. I feel like you're entering a space of where you want to create more joy in your life. You are not wanting to create more pain in your life. You're wanting to create joy. And one of the ways of doing that is shifting to a higher perspective, seeing the highest perspective in everything that's happening. And when you can do that, and sometimes that's tough to do, but when you can do that, there's a lot of like higher spiritual philosophers that talk about this concept of alchemizing any painful experience and seeing the positivity within it. And when you're able to see that, you alchemize the experience into something very positive and very powerful. And there is something to that. We also have an ant here. This literally there's an ant that showed up for pile 2, like in a reading, like maybe like a few weeks ago or something. And we have an ant again on pile 2 again. An ant. You're like, the thing that ants mean is, for one, collaboration and being open to new insights, new things. It's also of putting in the effort and putting in the work. If you think about ants, they build crazy things, crazy structures. And I think that you're building something right now. And even though you might feel small, okay, this is such a message. This is such a message with this ant. This ant's just like crawling on this card right here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you might feel small at times. You might feel like, how am I going to create a big impact? I don't understand. I don't have the capabilities. I don't have the skills. I don't have the strength. You might feel small like the ant. But when you actually see what ants do, what they build, what they're capable of, it is mind-blowing. And if you don't believe me, go look up like images of like ant, what is it called? Like ant, not buildings. Like the tunnels that ants make, the crazy like tunnels that are underground where you see like the little hole that the ants like come from. Sometimes they'll do this thing, which is actually kind of sad because they end up destroying the ant place or whatever, but they'll pour like a cement or something down that so that it hardens, and then they can see the entire vast like structures that the ants build underground. Mind-blowing. Literally mind-blowing. And so another message that I'm getting for you, especially since you're going through this huge alchemy thing, you probably feel right now like you're buried beneath all of these different things, all these different feelings, these circumstances. You're like the ant that's building its underground sanctuary right now. That's also where diamonds are created, is underground, under that pressure. Again, you might feel small right now. Your highest self right now wants you to know that you're actually creating some of the biggest shifts in your life right now. I think the ants are here because they like this flower, because there's another ant on this flower. But you're creating something so much bigger than what you realize right now. There is stuff happening below the surface subconsciously for you right now. And I know this might sound really woo-woo, maybe really out there, but there's deep things that are happening for you on a subconscious level that are below the surface that you might not even be aware of, that are so big, and they're going to be so powerful in shifting you in really big ways. I'm really hearing that even just a couple of years from now, you're going to be in such a different place in your life, such a different place, that when you look back on your life, like from a few years ago, from where you are right now even, it's just so vastly different. You're gonna be looking back and being like, oh my goodness, if I ever even knew where I was going and what was happening beneath the surface, like, wow, like I feel like it's gonna be mind-blowing for you, to be honest. So anyway, lots happening beneath the surface right now, lots going on, lots of like alchemy things going on within you right now, which is deep transformations, taking lead, so experiences that feel, you know, like and turning it into gold. Turning it into gold. That is a form of like enlightenment, and it's a metaphorical term that you can apply to almost anything in life. It's like recycling. Recycling is a form of alchemy. We also have the Two of Pentacles. We have Moonchild coming up for you. The Hierophant. Let's get one more card. Wow, we got some powerful, powerful tarot cards. Okay, this one's gonna remain a surprise. We're gonna keep that one as the last card that we touch on. So starting with the Two of Pentacles, I really think you're gonna begin shifting your energy to new places. And you're in the process right now of shifting your energy to new places. And maybe again, there's even a decision that you need to make in your life. And what your highest self wants you to know is that this is a decision that only you can make. And I feel like even when you ask all these other people what their opinions are, you still feel lost. You still feel like, I don't know what to do still. I don't feel fully sure. Your surety in life is gonna come solely from yourself. And I think you've been feeling that lately, and you've been realizing that. You've been realizing that no matter how much you ask other people for their opinions, it's not really having like a deep impact. Because this is about you stepping up into your power, making your decisions, the decisions that are in alignment with you and your values. And I think your values are changing, and maybe that's why the decisions that you're making aren't really what you're used to. And maybe you're like, oh, I'm conflicted because you're in this precipice of a shift. You're in this precipice of literally a shift where the scales are changing for you, and you're not the old self anymore. So the decisions that you used to make for yourself don't feel quite the same anymore. And now you're being led into new decisions, new things, and you're like, okay, like I'm literally shifting. And that's okay. The Moonchild, I feel like you're reawakening into a completely new self. The Moonchild is the birth of a new you. It talks about your eternal soul and your inner child. And so I feel like you might even be doing some inner child healing at this time, but you're also rebirthing a new version of yourself. You're rebirthing a new version of yourself, and your highest self wants you to know right now that you're completely, like, this is meant to happen. You're right where you need to be. And yes, it might be a confusing time where it's like, okay, but like now I'm all confused. I'm having these weird, like, confusing times because like you're changing so much as a person. That's okay. The Hierophant right now, you're going to be working on like completely brand new values. I think that even your spiritual beliefs are going to be shifting. What you believe in is going to be shifting. I think that you're going to be like following new rules in your life. I think you're realizing what actually truly matters to you, and you're ready to put in the work towards that. I feel like you're also, your highest self is saying that you're also really ready to like get your life together. And I feel like within the next 3 months, you're actually going to be doing things that are heavily shifting your life in a way where it's like you're getting your ish together. And I feel like you're going to be more put together than ever. You're headed towards this glow up. On top of just this being like feeling more aware, more enlightened and all those different things. Sometimes I don't like using the word enlightened because it seems like you're like above everyone else. And that's like, all of us are just we're all equal, you know what I mean? But like another thing that I'm getting through these really glowy kind of halos, you are going through a glow up. You're going to feel more put together than ever. You're getting your life together in a way where it's like all of a sudden going to be organized and like you feel on top of everything and you're feeling powerful. You're feeling good. Like you're entering into that stage of your life. You're also gaining a lot of wisdom. Let's go ahead and reveal our last little, we actually have a lot of other oracle cards to get to, but our last tarot card. We have the High Priestess. Oh my goodness. What a powerful card to have afterwards. I feel like a lot of you are going through like a spiritual awakening and like questioning old beliefs, questioning old aspects of yourself, and you're really wanting to change things to be more in alignment with the new you. And you're also awakening more of your intuition. I feel like you're so ready to act more from a place of intuition, because I feel like you've been realizing that your old ways of doing things, maybe it be acting on logical reason or acting on solely emotions. And maybe you're kind of getting to this point where you're like, no, I want this higher reason, this higher purpose. I want to act more intuitively, more in tune. Intuitively, in tune, right? In tune with yourself, in tune with the highest version of you, in tune with your highest potentials. That is what you're tuning into. And your highest self is also encouraging you to do that. It's encouraging you to tap more into that intuitive space, because you're going to feel so much more in alignment as you do that. Tapping more into that intuition, allowing this rebirth, getting your steps together, finding more balance in your life, balance when it comes to time, balance when it comes to your energy, your resources, and all those different things. Finding more joy within life. You're going through a deep spiritual like awakening right now, okay, my love? Let's go ahead and dive into some more oracle cards here. My goodness, there's like ants everywhere today. Maybe they're also attracted to the tea that I'm drinking. I don't know. Okay, it's also summer, so I guess there's a lot of ants that come out in the summer. We have the Explorer. You might even be called to start traveling more or to expand your horizons in some way. I think that you're kind of just like, you are done living the same life and you want something new. Your highest self is like, yep, let's get our Explorer shoes on and let's be open to new things. Let's be open to new ideas that we can explore. You're ready for expansion. That is absolutely for sure. Let's see what else we have. We have release. So what is it that you are being called to let go of? You're also a frog that wants to jump from its lily pad onto a new thing. Maybe even explore a new pond. Maybe you're going to be inspired to literally move somewhere new. Maybe you're going to be inspired to travel somewhere new, because maybe you feel like your past self has expired. You're like, no, I don't want to be the same thing anymore. I don't want to do the same life over and over and over again. You're wanting something new. You want to expand. So what is it that you are releasing? Release anything that feels expired to you. Is there certain people in your life that it's like, okay, I'm not resonating with them anymore and I just don't feel like we're on the same page anymore? Then it's time to release that, expand into something new. You know, maybe there's a job that you're like, okay, that's left my life. Maybe, okay, some of you might haven't cleaned out your fridge in a while. Maybe you literally have expired stuff just sitting around, and maybe it's time for us to get rid of that. Or maybe we need to get on our driver's license or our passport before it expires, because for some reason the word expire came up. So what is it that's about to expire in your life, and how can you renew that? How can you renew that so that you can continue moving on with no stress? You can move forward with ease. What are you weaving? What are you wanting to cut away from your life that's no longer serving you? All of that jazz. Let's go ahead and jump into some more oracle cards. But again, the word expire came up. So what is it that's about to expire that you either need to throw away or renew before it expires? Because there's something there that you need to take care of. Let's go ahead and get some more info. We have the Selkie coming up. And then we also have the World. Oh, and we have White Buffalo. Oh, these are fun, actually. Okay, let's start off with the World. The World always indicates completion of a phase. So you're clearly at a time of your life of like big completion, closing out an old chapter. I feel like you're so ready to close out a chapter that's just no longer resonating with you. It's no longer feeling quite the same. Maybe you're also ready to finish things up that have been left on the back burner for a long time, and your highest self is coming through being like, yep, let's put the finishing touches on those so that they don't need to be left over anymore. If you're like writing a book, it's time to finish it. If you are, instead of letting perfectionism stop you from completing things and getting things done, your highest self is coming through being like, no, get them done. They're not, Nothing ever reaches a stage of perfection. Every artist, like even if we go look at some artist's work and we're like, that is perfection, guaranteed that when they were looking at it, they were like, there's still something more I could do. I don't know. It's like an artist has the toughest time saying when they're done. It's so hard because as an artist, you want to keep making it better. We want to keep making it better. And there's always things that we could make better about something. Always. But there comes a time where we just have to say, oh wait, you know what's weird is this card actually says the word. You're probably listening to this video right now being like, wake up, wake up, Gem. That does not say the world. That says the word. I don't know. Clearly that tangent was supposed to happen. I always take mistakes as something that's like meant to happen. Kind of just like, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name right now. But you know that guy, he's like a famous painter. Wow, why can't I remember his name? Bob Ross. And he like, he'll be painting and he'll get paint splatter somewhere and he's like, oh, but instead of it being a mistake, he goes, there's no such thing as mistakes, just happy accidents. So let's take this as a happy accident because clearly that was meant to say something, but also the word card, the word, what is it that you're being called to say? What is it that you're being called to write? What is it that you're being called to speak about? What is your truth? I feel like there's something in your truth that wants to come out. Maybe we're wanting to say something. Maybe we're wanting to be more authentic. Okay, White Buffalo is also very spiritual. It's about raising your consciousness and seeing the purity behind everything, seeing the pureness in yourself, the potentials of the world, purifying your life as well. What are some habits or things that are toxic that we need to let go of? Toxic people, toxic habits, toxic things, toxic thinking patterns, toxic beliefs. What are those things that we need to release and let go of? And the Selkie is about shedding skin and transformation. So what is it that you're being called to shed and let go of? Even if you feel stuck right now, because this card also talks about feeling stuck and feeling like your power is being taken away. Again, if you feel that, your highest self wants to come through to tell you that your power is not being taken away. We choose whether we give our power away. And there's something about like, okay, sometimes when I say this, like some people get triggered because yeah, it's like hard to hear, but at the same time, it's like, it's such a deep truth that when you realize it, it's like, oh my God. But when it comes to like feeling like you're a victim to something in the world, if we choose to feel like a victim or accept the place of a victim, we give all of our power away to whatever external force is happening. So for example, if you're stuck in a negative relationship, there's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way to find a way out of a negative relationship, for example. So we need to choose to stop putting ourselves in a situation that's negative. We need to choose to remove ourselves from that. We need to choose a new path. But when we stay in a victimhood mindset, we give all of our power away to those external things, saying that I cannot change my life until those external things change. But we don't have power over the external things. So we give our power away because we can't change the external. We can try, but it's up to those external things whether or not they want to change, right? But what we can do, instead of falling into that victim mindset where we give our power away, we can take our power back and say, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to do something about my own life. I'm going to take my power back and shift my world. What can I do right now about this situation so that I can reach my vision, so that I can reach my goal? Sometimes that requires cutting things away, releasing things that are keeping you stuck, releasing things that are holding you back, or taking steps towards taking your power back. So if we're stuck in a job that maybe we're tied to because maybe we do need it financially. Also, I'm going to restart my camera really quick before it cuts out because this is an important thing. Okay, back to this. Sometimes we're maybe stuck to a job because, again, we need it financially, but maybe we feel really like we just feel like it's taking all of our power away. We feel victim to this job. What we can do is take steps towards building something new, towards finding something new so that we can change, so that we can take our power back, so that we can find that autonomy to shift into something that doesn't feel like it's weighing on us and tearing us down and taking all of our power away. If there's a will, there is a way. If there is a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. So again, the Selkie talks about maybe feeling stuck to something else, stuck to an external circumstance that's outside of your control and feeling stuck there. You don't have to feel stuck there, and your highest self is coming through to tell you, if there's a will, there is a way. You're being called somewhere new. And if you don't like where you are, it is time to shift, time to change that. Okay, let's see what else we get for you. Group 2, group 2, group 2. Group 2, group 2, group 2. We have risk. Oh, okay, some of us are scared of taking risks, right? And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to making change in our life, is sometimes it's so scary to take a risk. Let's see what this card says. This says, learn to grow wherever you are planted. Sometimes we can't control where we're planted, but we can learn how to grow there. We can learn how to change our circumstances for ourselves. So for example, when it comes to plants, sometimes plants in the forest are, all of a sudden growing underneath a huge tree that's blocking all of their sunlight. But plants have this innate wisdom within them to know how to grow around that and to know how to find the sunlight. And so they'll literally start tilting and shifting. And maybe if you own plants, you've seen this. Sometimes plants will start growing towards a window because they want more light. Or if they're getting too much light, they'll literally start growing away from a window and they'll get all lopsided. So learn to grow wherever you are planted. Start shifting yourself. If you do not like where you are, start growing and taking steps to grow somewhere that's going to be more healthy for you, somewhere that's better for you, just like a plant does on themselves. Because a plant, they have no autonomy about where you put them in the house. You might put them in a spot that's really dark, and they'll literally start shifting their leaves towards a light source so that they can get it. And it takes work, it takes effort for them to do that, but they'll do that. And again, same thing, if you put them too close to a window, and if they're a plant that likes more shade, they will start growing away from the window. But if a plant's in the perfect spot, then he's just good, and he's growing straight up tall, and he's woo! So anyway, learn to grow wherever you are planted. We might not have a choice or control over everything, but we do have control about what we do with what we're given. We have control over what we do with what we're given. And we can take steps and move towards what's better for us, just like a plant. We can take steps to move towards what's better for us. Let's see, we have journey. And look at what this says, branch out to new worlds. Branch out to new worlds. So powerful. Oh my goodness. Okay. These readings have been long, but they've been really fulfilling, and hopefully you got something out of this. I know this reading was a little bit more intense, so I'm sending you so much love for joining me here through this video, and hopefully it helped out, and hopefully even the harder messages are helpful in some way, shape, or form for you. And hopefully you got something out of it. So I'm sending you all so much love, and thank you so much for joining me here. Just a little recap, because I feel like your highest self is coming through being no, there's let's go through this. Just a little recap. Your highest self is calling you to expand, to explore. You are being woken up to new realizations, new epiphanies that are going to help expand you, and you're being called to expand, to jump to a new place, to also let go of perfectionism in order to complete certain things and in order to actually start making moves. Learning to grow wherever you are planted, and learning that you can have autonomy, you can create shifts in your life, and you have the power to begin creating those shifts. It might not be an overnight shift, but those shifts are so worth it. So worth it. So where are you putting your energy? You might be called to start tipping those scales and putting that energy into a new place and building something new. And that's going to be so powerful for you. You're going to find so much more strength by doing that. You're being called to listen to your intuition, to create a new value system in your life, and yeah, this is just so deep, and you're being called to have this rebirth and getting your life together. And I feel like you've been inspired and called to do that. You've been inspired to up level. You've been inspired to expand yourself, to get everything in order. And you're going to be successful at that. That's what I really see, is like you're going to find your most success as you get all of those things together and call back your power and realize that you do have the power. You have the power to begin shifting and growing into something new. You have that power within you, and your highest self really wants you to know that. This is time for you to journey and to branch out into new worlds where you can find more sunlight, more happiness, and to let go of the things that are stealing your happiness, to let go of that darkness. And we literally, like the first 3 cards that we had were about, look at, I see the light in my own darkness and in the darkness that might be surrounding you with certain situations. This is about seeing the light. The plants, it's just like those plants. If you put them somewhere where they're all in the shade and they're seeing the darkness, there's something about them that senses the light and they move towards that. This is about you sensing the light, moving towards that, creating movement, taking that a step at a time so that you can branch out into those new worlds and you can jump into that new pond, that new place where you can grow and thrive. Thrive. Your highest self is telling you that you're moving to a place of being able to thrive. It's about shedding the old skin, birthing this new self, moving towards that. And, not being scared to take that leap. That is the biggest thing here. Okay, my loves. So thank you so much for joining me here for today's reading. If you are still here with me, I know that was a long one, but if you're still here with me, like, wow, thank you so much. I'm sending you all so much love. If you are interested in any like crystal bracelets or crystal jewelry, again, there's a link down below where you can enter a big giveaway that we are having. And also there's a link if you are curious to just browse what we have and all of that jazz. And again, just sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And until next time, bye. All right, my group 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, your message from your highest self. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, group 3, grab some tea, let's hang out, let's talk about this. This looks so interesting. I'm so excited to get into this. So we have Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Then we have the cosmic egg, the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. And then we also have Mary Magdalene, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Let's talk about what this message is. So your highest self is coming through right now. And what I'm getting just from this first card right here is you might have an inclination right now where you really want to embrace more of your authentic voice. I feel like you're so tired of like not feeling safe to be real, not feeling safe to be the real authentic version of you. And maybe part of you has been like a people pleaser in the past. Maybe part of you has felt like you need to agree with the things that people say and validate other people, even if you disagree with it. And maybe you've been feeling like this pull and this push to want to honor your actual authenticity, to honor your truth and your honesty. Like, I feel like you've been having such a call to do that. And you've been really wanting to step into that. And your highest self right now is coming through to tell you that that is so in alignment. And you're going to get so much value from doing that. And maybe part of you is scared of doing that because you're scared of disappointing other people or hurting other people or creating conflict or anything like that. But it's going to be so valuable to you, especially if you can do it with the feminine love. If you can bridge your honesty with compassion, you're going to find that it's so much easier for you to do that, right? And it'll help you feel more liberated and more able to express your authenticity and your honesty. Also, this is really correlating with the color yellow. Some of you might be really connected or drawn to the color yellow lately, and maybe you were even drawn to pile number 4, which has a yellow crystal on it. I haven't even gotten into pile 4 yet. because obviously we're on pile 3 right now, so I have no idea what's in that one. However, you might also feel called towards that because of this yellow that you're being guided to right now. But anyway, the yellow connects with the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is the warrior. It's connected to the sun, which is all about authenticity and expression and allowing that warrior self. The opposite of the solar plexus, so when the solar plexus is out of balance, we are acting the archetype of the servant. And you're so done playing the servant. The servant is the people pleaser that's scared of conflict, so he'd rather serve other people and other people's ideas and bow down to that and just accept that and be in alignment with that rather than being the warrior, because again, the fear of conflict, the fear of hurting other people, the fear of being authentic or being judged or being rejected or being anything, right? Like all those different things. That's a fear. So we end up becoming the archetype of the servant and we close down our solar plexus chakra, which also is the first chakra of when we take an idea and bring it down into the physical, because all manifestation takes place by first becoming an idea, which is going through the crown chakra, and then we visualize it, third eye chakra, and then we voice it and plan it, the throat chakra, and then we feel the compassion and the emotion, heart chakra, and then it goes to the solar plexus where we take action. The solar plexus is the first chakra of manifestation. It's not the root chakra, because manifestation again comes from the divine, comes from the heavens down to the earth. And so taking action, and then we collaborate the sacral chakra and put more passion into it, and then it becomes physical, which is the root chakra. The root chakra is the manifestation of anything. Okay, so anyway, back to this. You're also on a journey of manifesting something big in your life right now. We have the cosmic egg. You probably have an idea that you would love to manifest into your life. You would love to create it. You have a vision. I feel like you're a visionary. I feel like you're a dreamer also. The vibe that I get from you, group 3, is that you are a big dreamer and you have big goals that you want to reach in your life. But in order to reach those goals, we need to start being authentic. We need to start activating that solar plexus chakra so that we can take action that's in alignment, that's authentic to what we desire, and we're not stuck people pleasing. If you're stuck people pleasing and you're stuck in the servant energy, you are taking away your voice, you are taking away your action, you are taking away your energy. You're saying no to you and saying yes to everyone else. So right now you're on this road and your higher self wants to come through to say yes. That push that you feel to be more authentic and be more honest is your push to become the warrior. That's your push to become the powerful version of you that's like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done. Yes, I'm going to go for what I want. Yes, I'm going to try to do that within reason, within balance, right? Because of course, we could also get to the opposite end of the spectrum where we're overactive in our solar plexus chakra, which means we're way too aggressive, way too imbalanced there and going for things, using up way too much energy and all that. It needs to stay balanced. And of course, we need to respect other people, but that's where we get the balance of the solar plexus chakra. Sorry if this is such a long tangent right now. Hopefully it's helpful, but the balance of that solar plexus chakra is when we are the warrior, but we're a humble warrior. We're a compassionate, loving warrior, but we are honest. And people love honesty because it's a sign of respect as well. It's a sign of respect for yourself, and it's also respecting other people because you don't want to just lie to them. So it's a form of great respect, and we can do it in an honorable way. And I feel like you're being called to that right now. I feel like you're being so called to that. Anyway, I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. You have so much love to give, and I feel like part of your purpose in this world is to help other people. So part of what you desire right now, one of your biggest desires in the world is to maybe create change, to maybe evoke change, and to be a warrior that evokes other people to achieve their desires, to create a balanced, healthy, good life. I feel like you're called to help other people, and you're being called right now to step up into that warrior position so that you can be that leader. You can be that example. I feel like you're really being called up into that right now. And then the Mary Magdalene, the apostle of the apostles, I feel like you're someone who you actually have this really good eye for being able to see people as their divine highest self. You have a power to do that. And I think it's also because like you have this empathic quality about you and you're able to see the divine purpose of all people. And I feel like you actually, you're for the most part pretty non-judgmental of other people. Like you really see their potential and you see their divineness. So you're like the apostle of the apostles. You see everyone else as the apostle, along with honoring the fact that you feel like you want to step up into that leader position as well. But you're also wanting to help other people do that. And I feel like you're being awakened deeper into that purpose right now, and you're wanting to be that bridge for people to help them manifest more in their life. You're wanting to be that bridge for people to help them see their divineness. I feel like you feel that within you. And you're on that self journey as well. And there's so much yellow in these cards. I really feel like, again, you're being called to be that warrior, to take that action, to help people awaken, to see that bigger picture that you see. And you're also being called into the spotlight right now, group 3. And you might fear the spotlight a little bit. But in order to be in the spotlight, you need to be authentic. Because that's what being in the spotlight is being authentic. You're being called to step up in there right now, but being authentic in a compassionate, balanced way. So what does that mean for you? Okay, let's go ahead and dive into some more cards. Woo, this is a deep reading already. We've been getting a lot of deep readings here. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. There's definitely a passion that you're currently following. We have the Page of Wands. Okay, taking action, but also following through to where you actually finish what you start. Not taking on too much to where you feel like you're overwhelmed, and not starting projects and then not finishing them, and starting projects and then not finishing them. There's something here. Your highest self wants you to focus on what's the deepest fulfillment for you right now. What would be the most fulfilling thing for you? And let's focus on that, and let's actually bring it to fruition. Instead of getting distracted with another new exciting idea and another new exciting idea, what are you most passionate right now? What is the most fulfilling for you? And let's put our energy there, and let's make it happen. Let's fully make it happen. And there might be days where you get uninspired and you're like, oh, I don't want to take action towards it anymore. I'm feeling uninspired. There's ebbs and flows to everything. I love what I do. I love making these YouTube videos, but there's also days that I have where I'm like, I absolutely do not want to make a YouTube video. But I know that I also have this schedule that I do need to uphold. And so I sometimes have to just do it anyway. And so when it comes to you and your passion, find what's the most fulfilling for you and dedicate to it. Dedicate it to a point where it will come to fruition. It will come to completion, because you're not going to give up on it. Even on days that you feel meh. Even on days that you feel like, I'm uninspired by that. Sometimes we do need to push ourselves. Sometimes we do need to just continue so that we actually finish it, instead of jumping on to the next lily pad. So that's one of the messages that your highest self has for you right now. And let's see what else we get for you. I also feel like for some of you, there's a self-love journey that you're on. A self-love journey where this is time to find all of the reasons to love yourself, to find the inspiration within yourself. I think it's time for you to step up into being the most inspiring person. So I feel like, listen closely, please. This is like, I feel like this is so powerful. I feel like your highest self is like, right now is like, this is so powerful. So when it comes to things that you're inspired by, things that you might see online, or things that, people are doing that you're like, wow, that's so inspiring. I wish I could be like that. Your highest self right now is saying discipline. Become what you are most inspired by. Begin taking action towards that and becoming that. Because as you do that, as you become your most inspiring person, you will find a lot of fulfillment. But it does take some discipline, because sometimes it's hard for us to do that. Sometimes we just want to fall back into those old patterns. But if we really want that deep fulfillment, it's about knowing that it takes some dedication, it takes time, and there might be days where we don't feel like it, but we know that if we just do it, it becomes fulfilling, such as like going to the gym. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, no, I just want to sleep in bed. But the days where you actually force yourself to get up and out and do the thing, all of a sudden afterwards you're like, I am so glad I did that. I feel like I'm on cloud 9, cloud 10, cloud 111. Like, you feel so much higher. But then if you stay in bed and you succumb to that, like, oh, it just feels good in the moment to just stay in bed. The moment you get out of bed, there's that slight disappointment that kind of sinks in where you're like, oh, I didn't do the thing that I was really wanting to do. I didn't do the thing. But when you actually do it, oh, the fulfillment of that. So your highest self right now is also saying, sometimes we need to use our willpower. Sometimes there's going to be days where we're not inspired to do the thing and we're not feeling it. And it's easier to say yes to being on our phone and scrolling on our phone or staying in bed longer or whatever. Trust me when I say your highest self is calling you to take action towards those fulfilling things, because it will shift your emotions as well. It will shift you. Okay, so if you've also been feeling like a feeling of a lack of energy or a lack of passion, it will shift when you start taking action on those things. It will create this type of fulfillment that is addictive, but in a healthy way, because you're getting addicted to something that's good for you. It's going to get so like, and it's going to become habitual for you. It's going to become your new normal, and it's going to transform you on such a deep level. Okay. We also have 4 of Pentacles here. There's certain things that you might feel scarcity around. So some of you might be feeling scarcity around your money or finances. Maybe you feel like, ooh, I need to start becoming tighter and more restrictive around my money and finances. But your highest self wants to come through to tell you to not act from a place of lack and scarcity and fear. It's good to save our money. That's a healthy thing. And your highest self is coming through being like, yep, that is the correct decision to start saving your money and being more conscious of how you spend your money. Yes, but don't do this from a place of scarcity and lack. Do it from a place of, I know that I just want to do that because it's smart and it's in alignment, right? So do you see the difference in perspective? Because when we act from a place of lack and scarcity, we end up creating an energy where now our decisions are backed by fear and scarcity, which ends up perpetuating more circumstances to bring scarcity and lack our way. However, when we can just be smart with our money and just be like, you know what? No, I'm just going to be smart with it so that I am more abundant, and I'm going to be conscious with my money. That is a completely different energy that you approach it with, which gives you completely different results, because the energy in which you do things with affects the way you think and affects the way you take action. If you take action from a place of lack and scarcity, it perpetuates lack and scarcity. If you take action from a place of conscious decision and conscious choice, and you don't attach scarcity and lack to it, you are in a much better position, much better place. You might still be doing the same things, saving your money in that, but it comes from a different place. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. We also have the universe here. The universe is in the palm of your hands right now. I think that you're painting a new story, and you have a brand new universe being born. Literally, we have the cosmic egg right here. I hold the universe within me. Look at, she's literally holding the universe. We literally I can't even express enough how excited I am on how much these cards correlate, because I feel like your high self is just coming through so powerfully to talk about this. But anyway, you're the force of ever expanding love. You're expanding your universe right now. You are calling in more love into your life, for one. So your highest self is also saying that you are growing this type of self-love, and your self-love is also going to grow from becoming your most inspiring person. Doing those things, even when you don't feel like it. Do it, because it's going to create a fulfillment that is irreplaceable, that is priceless. I hold the universe within me. You hold the universe within you. Your highest self wants you to realize your potential and realize that your potential is limitless. You may feel like putting limits on yourself sometimes, where you might question, who am I to be, guiding people or giving people advice? Who am I to go after my dreams? Who am I to do these things? That might be a thought that comes to you sometimes. However, you hold the universe within you. Your potential is so limitless. And so your highest self wants you to see your potential and to see that the vision that you have for your future, the change that you're wanting to make in your life, is so within your grasp. It is so within your grasp, and your highest self wants you to know that. So if you want to increase your money and finances, you can do that, but do it from a place of feeling abundance, through making smart choices, through a place of abundance. Create more truth. Be a truth warrior. Be your own warrior and come from a place that's authentic to you. And don't be afraid to like make a fool of yourself. One of the keys to life is some of us hold ourselves back because we're so scared of looking stupid. We're so scared of judgment. We're so scared of rejection or failure. We're so scared of that. But success comes to those who are not afraid to make a fool of themselves. They're not afraid of that. They're okay if people see them trip and fall and fail. That's okay because they are making change. They're doing what they love and they're making progress towards it. Because every time that you maybe fail at something or something doesn't go right or something didn't come out right, that's a moment of growth and learning. That's a moment of growth and learning so that you can continue climbing the ladder. It's just like when you try riding a bike for the first time and you fall and you slip. It doesn't mean that you're going to fall and slip every time. It means that you're learning, and now you've learned. You learn in each one of those moments, and your brain knows how to course correct. Your brain takes in information and goes, okay, clearly I fell off the bike because of this and this and this. Your brain is doing such deep processing in that moment to where you learn. So every time you fail at one of your things, or every time you make a fool of yourself by going after what you desire, you're also at the same time learning how to become a master. So don't be afraid of looking stupid. Don't be afraid of getting rejected. Don't be afraid of failure. All of these things help you become a master. They help you become a master, okay? And not everyone's going to understand you. Not everyone's going to get you. But there are people that will. There are people that will be in alignment with you and will be on that same page. So go after it, my love. Go after it. And of course, I'm not saying don't use caution along the way. Caution's a healthy thing. But don't use fear. Fear holds us back, but caution is a healthy form of fear where we're aware and we're being smart about everything, but still not, closing ourselves off to our potentials. So anyway, wanted to make that clear there. Let's dive into some more cards. This has been a long reading already, and we're not even in all of the oracle cards that I want to pull out. So anyway, these readings have been really long in today's video. Hopefully they're not too long. But yeah, let's dive into more stuff here. So, okay, let's take all of those. Those clearly wanted to come out. Let's see. We're going to save this one for last because I feel like he's powerful for whatever reason. We have the Warrior. This makes total sense with what we were talking about earlier, especially with the whole Warrior solar plexus talk that we had earlier. So I feel like that's just repeating that same message of let's become the warrior. This is also the Aries symbol with the horns. So this is talking about starting a new beginning. So there might again be something that you're thinking about starting, something that you're thinking about diving into. Your highest self says, yes, let's do it. But you might have to overcome a fear to get there. Movement, time to make progress, continue moving. You have the momentum. If you keep moving, you have the momentum, and that momentum will build exponentially and you'll get to your goals faster and faster. We also have the Observer. I think you have a vision. Hold that vision in your mind, my love, and it will continue to manifest. It will continue to build. Even if you don't see the entire picture yet, it will build as you keep going. I also think you have people that are rooting for you, to be honest with you. With the Observer card, I feel like you have people rooting for you. And I also feel like you're inspired by certain things that you see in other people. And you're like, ooh, I want to be that. You have that potential. You have the universe right there. It's like you're holding this globe in this card, and seeing something in your future. You have that potential. That potential is literally being built as we speak. Sacred sexuality. Some of you, there's a message here about having children. So some of you, if you're in that stage of your life where you're thinking about that, that's something that's manifesting for you. If that's something that you're trying to manifest right now, that's a message from your highest self saying that, yep, that's happening. Anyway, that's just because we have this cosmic egg and sacred sexuality. But if that's not something that you are wanting to work towards, sacred sexuality also deals with your creativity, and it also deals with meeting important people. So you might be calling in important people into your life right now that you can collaborate with, not in a sexual way, but sacred sexuality just also points to people because it's your sacral chakra. Anyway, this card also deals with your creativity, utilizing your creativity and focusing it on what you desire. We also have self-love. You're on that self-love journey, like we were saying earlier. And this is about not being afraid to be in the spotlight. We have the peacock. Peacocks also deal with the spotlight energy. You're being called to step up into the spotlight right now. And you might feel that, but part of you might also be scared of that. But at the same time, you're being called to do that. Don't let it hold you back. Don't let the fear of looking stupid or making a fool of yourself or failing hold you back. Because all of those things help you grow, right? And then we also have get creative. This is your time, my love, to get creative. This is your most powerful card. I felt like it from when I picked it up, like this was really powerful for you. This is time to get creative. Allow the creative juices to flow. Even if you might not be fully satisfied with what comes out, like you're learning along the way. You're learning to become a master. Okay, let's dive into our next deck of cards here. So group 3, what other messages do we have? We have the path. You are building a completely brand new path. We also have the scales, and we have the scales right here. That's so interesting. Okay, the scales and the path. Balance. Balance is going to help you so much because of course we can't push ourselves to do action all the time, 24/7. We need time to recuperate. And so one of your messages is to do things within reason, within balance, and to find that balance. To recuperate, regenerate, but continue on this path. On this path. Continue going down that path. You're going to build more and more of your vision. You're going to see more and more of it happen as you continue to move down it. I also feel like you're developing so deeply, and you're also shifting things. You're shifting things in your life. Life is about a balance of, sure, we might fail a few times, but it's also, we're going to get our wins through that because each of those failures helps us grow, helps us course correct. That helps us become a master. Think about like, I don't know why I'm getting this example of like a skateboarder, but like if anyone's tried to skateboard, they know it's like really freaking difficult, especially when you've never done it before. But the more trips and falls that you have, the more failures that you have, you slowly become a master at it. We know that with anything, riding a bike, skateboarding, doing anything, becoming a painter. You have to paint hundreds of bad paintings before you get one that you're like, ooh, that's good. Because you learn with those failures. You literally learn through them. And sometimes those failures helps you lead to something new and exciting, just like Bob Ross, the painter. I used this example in like a previous group. It's so funny. But you know, Bob Ross, like he would accidentally get like a paint splatter somewhere and be like, oops. But one of his famous quotes, there are no such things as mistakes, just happy accidents. And he get a splatter of paint somewhere and he's like, ooh, we could change that into a bird. There's a bird flying there now. It's like sometimes those mistakes actually end up being something that leads us to our next inspiration, or sometimes they're just something that we learn from, right? So tip the scales in your favor. Which scale do you want to fill up deeper? Do you want to fill up the scale that's full of doubt, failure, going backwards and staying safe? Well, we always want to stay safe. Again, that's why we use caution to keep us healthy and balanced, right? Or do we want to move towards our desires and fill that and fill up the cup that says, let me learn from this. Let me keep going. Let me try again. Let me get up and do it again. Let me do it better this time, you know, and moving towards that. But again, within balance, keeping that healthy sense of caution so that we don't go too overboard, but doing things within reason and continuing to fill up the side that you want to move towards more predominantly. So anyway, that is that. Let's get into our last few cards. I'm also going to restart my camera really quick just so that it doesn't cut out while we go through our last cards here. Okay, I am back. Let's shuffle our last oracle deck here. So group 3, we have forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. So when there's a thorn in the way, when there's something that you're like, that I'm not looking forward to that, that's hard, that's difficult, don't be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. The roses are still worth it. Your goal is still worth it. Let's see. These cards hold so much wisdom. This is like one of my favorite oracle decks in the entire world, just the sheer wisdom that's within these. And then we have renew. Nature continuously renews itself year after year. You can renew. You know, just because you failed at something before, you can renew this year. Nature continuously renews itself. Year after year, it grows new leaves. The trees grow taller. They grow stronger. They grow better. So renew yourself year after year. What do you want to change about yourself right now? Instead of waiting for a New Year's resolution, or maybe you're watching this around New Year's, I don't know. But at the moment when I'm filming this, we're like halfway through the year. But no matter what time it is, you can choose to renew yourself. You can choose to grow higher, grow stronger, grow a new leaf, grow a new branch. Nature continuously renews itself year after year. You might feel called to go through a renewal right now, to change something. What are you called to change? What are you called to let go of? What are you called to shed? Shed some leaves that no longer serve you and grow some new ones that do. Okay? So that is our last powerful message that we have from your highest self. Group number 3, what a powerful reading. You are being called to be more authentic. You feel it already deep in your soul that you want to be more authentic, more honest, put up those proper boundaries and, uphold your truth and your honesty and your integrity. You're really called to that. And I feel like you feel that already. And your high self says, yes, that'll be so amazing for you. And on top of that, you're being called to step into the spotlight, to be a leader, to be a warrior. You're being called to step up into a bigger purpose right now. And it might be a little scary, but you're being called to step up into that. And you're being called to step up into becoming your most inspiring person. Who is that? What does that mean to you? And how do we dedicate to that so we don't fall off track and then all of a sudden get down on ourselves because we didn't follow through with what we said we were going to do? What do you really want to be? What is the most inspiring person? Who is that? Write all those qualities down. Look at all those, observe. Look at all those things that you're inspired by, things that you see online. Maybe it's like a silly little Instagram reel where someone's like living their best life, doing like all the productive things. And you're like, wow, I want that life. I want to have my ish together that deeply. If that's the most inspiring thing, do it. Write down what those things are and let's dedicate to it. Let's make it happen. And just see how fulfilled. Even if you just dedicate it to it one day, for one day you do that, and then do a little reflection and see how it made you feel. And if it made you feel good, continue with it. And if it didn't, well, find something else. Revise it. But ask yourself, truly, after you're done watching this, because I feel like your highest self really wants you to do this, ask yourself, what is the most inspiring person to you? What do they do? What is the most inspiring? And how can you become that? How can you do that? See how that feels when doing it. Dedicate one day to doing those things. How does that make you feel? And again, if it feels good, if it feels in alignment, continue that. Become that. So anyway, that is your message. Group number 3, I'm sending you so much love. It seems like you are birthing an entire new thing right now and manifesting something, and it's going to truly come through taking action and allowing your authentic voice to shine through. Not being afraid to be in the spotlight, allowing yourself to be in the spotlight, to honor your authenticity, to show up as you without being afraid of rejection or judgment, showing up as that through the compassionate, balanced version, and bam, I feel like your things are going to start manifesting. That's one of your deepest things right now. And that's one of the things that is going to allow you to manifest, because that's also one of the things that I feel like has been holding you back from manifesting something big, is because we're afraid to be our authentic selves. We're afraid to step up into the spotlight. We're afraid of failure. But let go of that. Because as soon as you step into that authenticity, as soon as you step into that honesty as yourself and you become that warrior, the solar plexus, you step into that spotlight and you do it, you're creating movement, deep movement that's going to bring you, that's being on the path. Start the path, be on the path, do the thing, get creative along the way, own it, be that warrior, be that authentic self, and bam, it is going to happen and it is going to be big. Okay, my love? So with all that being said, I know there's a lot of information in this video. I feel like some of you might even like go back and take notes. I don't know, but I feel like this message is so powerful for you right now. I feel like it's so deep, and your highest self right now is just really like wanting to, I know I'm repeating myself, but your highest self really wants to just like get it in there for you, because I don't even think you understand the change that's going to happen in your life as you do this. But I feel like you're already being called to do this. I feel like it's all within you already, and I feel like you already know all of this. So just continuing with what you already know within is just going to perpetuate everything for you to manifesting those biggest things in your life. My group number 3s, if you're still with me already, oh my gosh, just sending so much love to you. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this video, the message from your highest self. Again, we are also doing a little giveaway. So if you are curious about getting any crystal jewelry, there is going to be all the information linked down below, as well as the shop link if you just want to check some stuff out. But yeah, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, group 4, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. All about what you need to hear from your highest self. I was also about to say what you're manifesting for some reason, but that was the last video that I filmed, although that's like a couple videos away from now. Anyway, this is a message from your highest self. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, group number 4, I'm so excited to get into your reading. Yeah, we have Sakina, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. Diana, the queen of the wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. And then we have Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Ooh. Yeah, I just need to say, first off, we have a super powerful reading, and it's so funny because my boyfriend texted me saying that breakfast is ready. He makes me breakfast every morning, and I'm literally like, I will eat cold breakfast because I'm so excited to just do this reading right now, and I just feel the energy is here, so I'm just gonna like eat cold breakfast after this. Anyway, into this. So the presence of the divine feminine. The first message from your highest self is that of owning who you are and becoming so confident in who you are, because your highest self looks at you and sees like everything that you actually are, all the divineness that you are, and has a message of just wanting to say like, you deserve to be confident in who you are. You truly do. At the center of everything, there is light, and you are that light. You are part of that light. We are all divine light beings. And I know that sounds really woo-woo and esoteric, but we are divine light beings. And you deserve to be confident. Like, just the fact that you exist in this magical world where there is life, there is consciousness, is just already so wild. You deserve to be confident. There's so much about you that you might feel insecure about, or you might feel doubtful about. But your highest self wants you to come up into that confidence, because the moves that you could make, the things that you could accomplish with this confidence, with being confident in yourself, is otherworldly. Also, oh no, I squished an ant in. Okay, anyway, is otherworldly. And we also have the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. You have everything you need within you. Everything that you need. You have this, like, you have so much love within you to give and to like bring to the world. And I also feel like your highest self wants you to take better care of your body and of yourself. So when it comes to getting ample rest, listening to your body when it needs more rest, and finding time to do that. Finding time for relaxation without feeling hard on yourself for not being enough or not being worthy enough to take time for yourself. And when we have so many thoughts going through our head, every time we try to relax, and then all of a sudden our brain goes wild, like, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Take time to relax, and to truly relax, and to even just create a window of 30 minutes or an hour, whatever it is that you can create for yourself, and just say, for these 30 minutes, for this hour, I am going to allow myself to not worry about other things that come up. I'm just going to genuinely give myself this hour, this half an hour, whatever, to just be present with me. And anytime that I have a worrying thought come up, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go and come back to the present of relaxation. You deserve that. And I also feel like you are being called to let your wild side out a little bit, like letting yourself have more freedom. I feel like you're being called to be more free, to let go of things that are holding you back or holding you down, whether that be thoughts that you have, doubts that you have, fears that you have, or actual things that are keeping you tied down in ways that don't feel good to you. I feel like you are being called to let your wild side out a little bit. And part of you might even be drawn to things such as like wearing leopard print, or being more natural, being more wild and free with who you are, your essence, and everything about you. Part of you might also want to explore nature more and be outside more. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. You are so much love within you, and I feel like it's time for you to turn that love that you have for everything else and turn it inward and reflect it inward as well, and create that balance of loving yourself so deeply as well. Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. Some of you might also be called to learn something more, take like a course or something, or expand yourself in some way. You might be really called for that. And if so, your highest self is saying that that's going to be very in alignment with you stepping into a higher self and a higher power. But I also feel like your highest self wants you to see how much knowledge you already have. The goddess of self-knowledge. You are being called to see how much you've already accomplished, how much you've already done, how amazing you already are. Create a little reflection right now. I challenge you, not challenge, but look at yourself. Do a little self-reflection right now. Count all of the things that you're already really good at. The things that, you've already accomplished in your life. Whether that be, university or college, or cooking really good meals, or some talents that you have that are quite developed, things that you're proud of, things that you've accomplished in your life. Count all those things and realize like, oh, dang, you're already a really developed person. And the more that you see that, the more that you have gratitude towards that, the more that you're going to amplify those aspects of yourself, and the more self-confidence and self-love that you're going to cultivate, because you're realizing and cherishing and appreciating all that you already are. Imagine that when you're in a relationship with someone, imagine that you have a partnership and you're forgetting to appreciate all their good qualities, and you never tell them how much you appreciate them, or you never tell them and recognize like, wow, you're really good at this, or you have this crazy good talent and look at how far you've come. Imagine that you never say that. Like, that person's always going to question whether or not you love them. So when it comes to your own self-relationship with yourself, you need to recognize frequently, like not overly frequently, but frequently enough, recognize all of your accomplishments. Recognize all that you've done. Appreciate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Like, you've already done so much. You've come so far. Okay? Allow yourself to be more wild and free, and appreciate all that you already are. It's going to be one of the keys to your deepest success, is to begin appreciating who you are and becoming confident in giving yourself that love. Your soul has been deeply craving that lately, is more self-love, more self-appreciation. And we even had more cards come out for you than any other group. We had 4 cards, and I was only trying to get 3 for each group, but we had 4 fall out for you. So I was like, okay, we're going to go with 4. So one of the things, again, from your highest self is to treat yourself more like a sanctuary. Realize how amazing you already are. Take care of yourself. Feed yourself nourishing foods. Stay active so that you can pump out any toxins in your body and release them and all those other things, and keep yourself, energized. Treat yourself like a sanctuary. I feel like you're being called to set up proper boundaries in your life when it comes to things that you don't want to do anymore. So things that maybe you feel pressured, like maybe when you're out with friends, they pressure you to drink or eat unhealthy food or take part in bad habits, and maybe you're feeling like really not called to that anymore. Create proper boundaries so that you can say no to those things. I feel like this is also about protecting your energy more. So if somebody calls you and they really need your time and attention because they're going through whatever they're going through, ask yourself first, do I have time for this right now? Or should I tell them to maybe call me at a better time? Like, respecting your time, your energy more, because that is valuable. And this self-respect is coming through from your highest self. To really respect yourself, allow yourself more freedom rather than being tied down by things that are no longer serving you. I feel like your soul is craving this freedom, and there might be certain things in your life right now that are holding you back and holding you down in ways that are not healthy, and you feel this like itch to get more freedom. You feel this itch to free up your time more. And if so, this is your time to create more of that. Let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here to get some more info for you. So group 4, let's see what tarot cards we have for you and what your highest self wants to say here. We have the 8 of Cups being reversed. You're being called to let go of something, and you might shy away from letting go of it. Like, you might feel like, oh no, I can't like let go of this thing, I can't walk away from it. Maybe you feel responsible for certain things in your life that shouldn't actually be your responsibility. You're so being called to travel out of your comfort zone. We have the Three of Wands. That is so deeply about like you have your sights set on something new in the horizon. And your highest self is like cheering you on, saying, yes, let's go for it. Wheel of Fortune, time to shift. Part of you might be scared of change. Might be scared of like changing things up because maybe it requires changing your identity, changing who you are, and maybe that's really difficult. Your highest self is saying yes to change right now. And I feel like you do feel called towards that a little bit. Seven of Wands also being reversed. Whew. Learning how to say no to the things that you don't want in your life anymore. That's been a message for a lot of people. I feel like almost everyone's highest self has come through in today's video saying, learn how to say no to the things that you do not want. I feel like that's been such a big main message for almost everyone today. And that's what we have right here. Saying no and creating space for doing things when you're ready for them. When you're ready for them. So when it comes to people needing your time and needing this and needing that, creating a kind of better schedule. I feel like your highest self is calling you to create a better schedule, and you might even feel called to that lately, is like wanting to kind of create better windows of time, better time management. And if so, I highly recommend this book called Time Magic. It's by Melissa and Nick something rather. And that book is so good about time management. And I feel like your higher self is coming through talking about time management, because you might feel all over the place and like your days are almost a little bit out of your control. And that's something I'm getting from this Wheel of Fortune being reversed, is like this energy where your days kind of feel out of your control. Your time feels out of your control and you're wanting to create more control in your life. And that's going to come through saying no. And it's going to come through better managing the windows of your day, the windows of your time in your day, and creating more freedom. Your whole self wants more freedom, but you feel really tied down and out of control. But your whole self wants more freedom. Your highest self is coming through saying no and literally just freeing yourself from things. Feeling the power in yourself to say no so that you can create more freedom in your life, and unhinging yourself from responsibilities that are not yours to take care of anyway is going to be so powerful for you, because you might take on things that are not even meant for you to take care of, or you might be tied to things that you don't need to actually be tied to. You know, of course, we all do have a certain level of responsibility in our lives. That's inevitable. All of us have that. We can't free ourselves from 100% of responsibility, but there's some responsibilities that we take on unconsciously without even realizing, like, oh shit, I just took on someone else's stuff here. And now I'm like helping out with this and helping out with that. And it's not actually my problem to deal with, but here I am feeling the need to deal with it. I really think that your highest self is coming through saying, say no, or find specific windows of time where those specific windows are where you allocate time to unexpected things coming up. But you get to choose how much time you spend on doing those things. And again, your whole soul wants more freedom, and I think that freedom is going to allow you to expand and create more in your life and have the adventures that you want. Your soul wants adventures, group 4. Your soul wants adventures, and especially I feel like your soul kind of wants a new adventure. But there's almost like a fear of stepping into a new adventure, because it's like it's going to require a lot of change, and the change might feel a little scary because it's like, ooh, we're shaking things up. But your soul wants it. And to go after it, just take one step at a time to start shifting things in your life in that direction of more freedom and more journeying and expeditions and expanding yourself, exploration. Like your soul just wants the exploration, wants to experience more from the world. You desire to experience more from the world, and that is so in alignment for you. And your higher self is saying, yes, that is meant for you. It's 100% meant for you. Also, some of you may have also been attracted to group number 3, and I just want to say that because group number 3 had a lot of yellow in it, and you had a yellow crystal. And I just feel like group number 3 and 4 are kind of divinely connected. So you may have also been drawn to that pile, by the way. And if so, I'd highly recommend listening to that one as well, if you also did feel called to that at some point. And I mentioned that in group 3, that group 3 might have been connected to group 4. So I just wanted to mention that here as well. Because, yeah, anyway. We also have the outlaw, giving the boot to things that are not in alignment to you anymore. Don't fear saying no and giving the boot to things that are no longer in alignment for you. Also, don't be afraid of being the outlaw. Don't be afraid of being different. Don't be afraid of being disliked. That is inevitable sometimes. And the more that we step into being a people pleaser and we diminish our time and our self-worth, and we diminish our actual desires in replace of, you know, just being scared of being rejected or being scared of not being liked. Like, the fear of not being liked controls a lot of people, and it keeps us stuck in this people-pleasing mentality where we're not honoring ourselves. Every time that we say yes to something we don't want, we're saying no to something that we want. So think about that. Every time that you say yes to something that you don't want, you're also saying no to the thing that you actually do want that you could have been doing. So instead, start saying yes to yourself a bit more. And sure, we should be there for other people. That's a beautiful thing to be there for other people. But when we do it for most of our time, and we say no to ourselves to the point where we're really compromising our freedom and our life and our happiness, that is a toxic issue. Like, that's something we need to address. So don't be afraid to be disliked. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to give the boot to certain things in your life that are not serving you on a deeper level. We have the explorer, and literally what I was saying earlier is I feel like you have this energy that really wants to explore more, wants to travel more, do more things, expanding your horizons, and then we literally have that card coming up for you. So, I rest my case. Like, your higher self is saying to say no to things so that you can explore. And you might also have people in your life that really try to hold you back and really try to tell you no to your dreams. And you might feel kind of like the odd one out sometimes, where, you know, you feel kind of like this person who's like a dreamer, or this person who, you know, has these ideas that don't really resonate with other people in your life. And you might feel like that odd one out sometimes, but it's because your soul like wants more from life, wants more than just like, that's giving me the song in my head, like that song from Beauty and the Beast, like the one that's like, I want more than just this provincial life. Like, you want something new, you want something different. And I feel like you're kind of different. You're a bit more of like a rebel. You're a bit more out there than you're not this average person who wants just an average life. You want something a little bit more than that. And your highest self is coming through saying, okay, explore that feeling. Explore that feeling. Give yourself time to explore that, because that's going to be so valuable to you. You came to this life to live your happiness, right? You didn't come to this life to be a servant to other people. You didn't come to this life to do what other people think you should be doing. That's no life, right? The life that you should be living is the life that feels in alignment with you. You're a unique person. You should be living to create your story, your happiness, right? Let's see what else we get here. You came here to live for you, and I feel like sometimes you feel restricted because you almost like feel lost because other people might not understand you a lot of the times. And they might not understand how you operate, how your mind works, how your desires work. And they might just be thinking like, what? Can't you just like settle for what's average? And you're like, ugh, I just don't want to. And like, other people just might not get that, right? And that's okay. Not everyone's going to get you. Not everyone's going to understand you. And that's totally okay. They don't need to. You don't need to have everyone understand. You don't need to explain yourself to anybody. You don't need to have everyone on the same page as you for you to be able to live your life. You can just live your life. We also have reclaiming your power. Reclaim your power. Also, we have underworld. This is creating diamonds, diamond in the rough. You might really resonate with the Aladdin story, but also the underworld talks about having a lot of pressures in your life. You might feel a lot of pressures, but pressure also builds us into a gem. If you think about minerals underground, they get under a lot of pressure, under a lot of heat, And then they turn into gemstones, they turn into crystals. That's how crystals are formed. So as a human, this also correlates and is a reflection of how humans grow. Humans grow under pressure, and we become more refined, more beautiful through those pressure experiences. We learn through those. Those are where our deepest learning happens. That's where the deepest knowledge comes from. Knowledge doesn't come from living a happy-go-lucky life where everything just works out for you. Knowledge doesn't come from that. How much knowledge and wisdom have you gained from just like those fun experiences? Yeah, you gain some, absolutely. But do you gain it as deeply as those pressured experiences where things are hard and we need to face those difficult fears? That's where knowledge comes from. And right now, you're transforming into a gem, like a gem of knowledge, of wisdom that you're going to be able to share and be able to create big shifts and changes in your life because of that. Okay, we also have the wildling card coming up for you. We had the wilderness card here, and we have the wildling. This is so fitting for you. Like, you're meant to call back your freedom right now. You are meant to step into more freedom. Cut ties with things that are just holding you back. Some of you may even be called to change up your hair a little bit, like change up your hairstyle or shift it to kind of reflect this new you, because this card can sometimes also indicate that. But at the same time, this is more on a energetic level. So this is like really letting your freedom shine. You are wanting more freedom and independence, and your higher self says, yes, that's in alignment. Please go for that. Start doing that. Start acting on that to create more freedom. Like, I really get that. Like, this is time for you to not hold yourself back because of what other people think. Of course, we need compassion for other people. That's absolutely, like, yes. But that doesn't mean that we need to do what everyone else thinks or what everyone else expects. We can be free, we can be ourselves, we can be unique. And that's the beautiful thing about the world, is that we're all different. Okay? Let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. We also have, ooh, the shadow. This one came up for another group too. I love this card. This one talks about the entire path might not be known yet. So there could be something in your life. It could be your purpose. It could be what you're meant to do. There might be a lot of unknowns in your life right now. And this card specifically talks about those unknowns and how they can be a little bit scary. And sometimes we don't know what to do in our life because a lot of things might be unknown. And we might also feel held back because of that. Like, maybe we're like, I don't see the whole picture. I can't move forward. But the example that I gave earlier in another reading was like, I live in California, in Southern California at the moment. And imagine if I choose to drive to New York right now. I can't see New York from here, nor can I even see a sign on the road that points to where New York is. I can't. It's not there. And so you might be at a point in your life where you don't see the whole picture. You don't even see the destination. That is okay. That doesn't stop you from taking the next step, because you can see the next step in front of you. That's for sure. You could see what's more in alignment, and your soul is calling you towards that. And even if you're confused, like, what is the next step? I don't know. What is it that you desire? Do you desire more freedom? Okay, what's the next step towards creating more freedom? What is the next step? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to start implicating into my life? Even if that's just as simple as saying no to the things I don't want. That is a step in itself. That's getting you closer to your goal. So it could be as simple as that. Or it could be something as big as like, I'm going to like, make a big shift in my life. I'm going to start this next thing. I'm going to start this huge new project. I'm going to like do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever it is, there is a next step that you can take, no matter how big or small, there is a next step. And then after that step, there's another step we can take from there. And then there's another step that we can take from there. And that's how you slowly build your path. That is literally how you slowly build your path and get to your destination. You might not even see that destination, but it builds and develops as you continue to take steps. So continue to take steps, okay? Let's see what else we get for you. Let's see, group 4. We also have the Prophet. I feel like some of you have been waiting for your answer before you're ready to make the move. You're almost waiting for like, what is my purpose? What is like everything I need to know before I like start moving towards it? But let me tell you something, is like, most people do not know their purpose. They don't know. But all they know is like, oh, I have this desire, or I have this passion. And as long as you can follow that, that is your purpose. You create your purpose. You create it. You're the creator of your purpose. It's not something that you find, it's something that you create. What do you love doing? Even if you don't see the entire picture yet, you might not see the full vision of that yet, that's okay. What does it mean to you right now? It can build and develop along the way. Start taking steps towards whatever it is that you're called to, and you will be developing your purpose. It's not some prophecy you have to wait for. It's not some prophecy that you have to find. You are not behind in anything. You're right where you need to be. Just continue taking steps towards what it is that you're being called to. Again, it could be something as simple as like, oh, I'm being called to start saying no to these certain things that take away my freedom. Oh, I'm being called to start shifting up my schedule. Oh, I'm being called to just start cutting ties to things that are not what I want anymore. I'm feeling called to explore more. How can you take one step towards that? How can you develop that one step further? That is your purpose. You make it. You make your purpose, my love. It's not something you find. It's not something that's already written. It's something you create. So you can create anything. That also leaves it up to a blank page. You can create anything as your purpose. You can do anything. What are you feeling most called to? Okay, so let's see what else we get for you. Group 4. We have the card of cleanse. Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. What is something that you need to let go of? What is something that's making you feel kind of meh right now? Wash your weary spirit clean. What are those things that are making you feel down about life? How can you wash those thoughts away? Realize that you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but you don't need to accept every single thought as truth. Not every single thought is true. Okay? Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. Get out in nature more. Let your wild side out a little bit more by getting out into nature. Feeling the freedom of nature, the freedom that is innately yours. Your soul is always free. Wash your spirit clean. Allow those thoughts to go away and realize you're not your thoughts. Not every single thought that you have is truth. Learn. Take a lesson from the owls. Deeply observe the night and you'll become a little wiser in the day. Deeply observe what's happening. Like, deeply observe, like the night, by the way, kind of indicates like if there's something unknown to you, like if there's a pattern that keeps happening in your life or if your purpose is unknown to you. If you just reflect, if you take time to really reflect on that and you reflect on it deeply, you'll become a little bit wiser consciously. The more that you reflect on the unconscious things, the things that you don't know, the more that you actually take time out to truly reflect on that, you become more consciously aware because consciousness is light. So consciousness is the daytime. Unconscious is the nighttime. Hopefully this is making sense. I know this might be like way too overhead, but the more that you reflect on those things that you do not know, the more clearer it will become. But be patient with yourself. It doesn't become like randomly perfectly clear after one time. And then we have clearing, make room for growth. Making room for growth. What are the things that you want to let go of? Because sometimes the next step that we can take is just by letting go of the things that we no longer want. And then focusing on what is it that I do want? What do I want to bring in more in my life? Realizing that the more self-love that you give yourself and the more that you allow yourself to step up into that confident position where you're confident in yourself and you see all your worthiness, things become a lot clearer in that space. Because we reclaim our power, we reclaim our potentiality. And when we reclaim what's potential for us, then we realize that, oh, I've just expanded my ideas of what I can do. I've just expanded my mind. And that's going to expand you into so much more. So hopefully that's making sense. Anyway, that is what we have for you, my beautiful group number 4s. I'm going to restart my camera really quick. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. My camera always cuts out after like 30 minutes, so I always have to restart it so it doesn't like cut out on us. Anyway, that is your reading from your higher self. Reclaiming your power. Exploring more, expanding what's possible. As you expand your mind of what's possible for you, more becomes possible. Literally. One of the most amazing books that you could ever read is called Psycho-Cybernetics. I forgot the author's name, Matthew Maltz or something like that. Anyway, Psycho-Cybernetics, there's one book. And that book talks about your self-image and how your self-image literally creates the limitations that you then have on yourself. your self-image. So if you see yourself as incapable of a lot of things, or if you don't have that confidence in yourself, you steal a lot of your capabilities that are actually there. So you are so much more capable than what you realize. But as you realize that you're so much more capable, then you reawaken those capabilities. You reawaken those gifts and talents that might be shut off because of this maybe lack of confidence. But one of your biggest messages is to explore, reclaim your power, reclaim your freedom, and create that confidence by seeing all that you already are, all that you've already done in life, and realizing it doesn't stop there. That's just your foundation that you have that you can build upon from here. And as you build upon that, you create so much more. You awaken to so much more. You create your destiny. You create your purpose. You are the prophet of your own life. You get to say what your purpose is. So I feel like you're going to find that more and more as you see your confidence, as you build your confidence, and then you expand your horizons. As you expand your self-image, you expand what's possible for you. So that is the message I want to leave today's reading off on. My beautiful group number 4s. That was your message from your highest self. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this reading. Your soul's craving more freedom. And as you expand yourself into that more freedom and expand how you view yourself, you're going to find so much more expansion in your life. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm sending you so much love, my group number 4s. Also, if you are curious about the Luna Gem giveaway, which is my jewelry shop, and if you like crystal jewelry, bracelets, all those different types of things, all the information will be linked down below for that, as well as the shop information, so you can browse through different things there. And I am sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for this video. Again, so much love, and until next time, bye!